Hello friends, my name is Anil Gupta and in this video we will discuss 1929 concatenation of array. In this problem we have a array and we need to make the array that is by concatenation the same array. So how it will work? We are having a array that is have element like 1 to 1 and what we are doing we are just 1 to 1 and 1 to 1. By this mean that we concatene the same array to itself and return it back. So you can see that in C++ we have nums and I will be solving it in C sharp. There is not much logic in this problem. What you need to do is to make a array. Let's try it in Visual Studio. I have set it up here and you can find this repository on my GitHub account. This is the name of concatenation array. It will be in the name of concatenation of array C sharp. How this thing will work? So what I need to do, if I have a array 1 to 3, it will be 1 to 3 1 to 3. Let's see what happens. So what I'm trying to doing here, I am trying to make it double. So this is the syntax. So we are making the length. Remember this thing that I am trying to make the array that is the having a double length. Let's see if it is working or not. I think it should fail because nums array can't be resized unless you redefine them. Okay, so it is saying that source array was not long enough. So suppose I am modifying the array and I am giving the element. It should have the double element. I mean double array. So array should have the six. Array can hold six item. Then three is already there and three so I am adding. So it will work. But the array is also currently have three item. So if I show you, this is three and I am adding three more. So it will not work because the source array was not long enough. Let's see how we can modify. So if you see the question, they are clearly mentioned that we have nums array and ans array will be. So this is specifically saying that we can make the new array. So let's see if what I can do. I so there is two things we can do. I can either create a new array that hold the all the items. Or what I can do, I can just write, let's see, we will be having those things later. So let me write array new int. So what I'm going to do now is I'm holding it to. Suppose I have three, it should have the whole, it now can hold the item of six. And if I define this, first of all, I can't define the item. So is it possible I can define this like nums? Is it possible? Or I can define like nums? No, because int this can be only have integer. Okay. So what I did now, I create an array of the double of the size. So this is three, it will be six. This is four, this will be eight. You know, this is simple math. What I can do, I can write nums dot copy to. So it is saying that copies all the element of the current one dimension array to the specific one dimension array starting at the specific destination array index. The index is specific at the 32-bit integer. Okay, so what it is doing, it will do, it will be copying to this array, the array that I'm passing at the specific index. So remember this thing that if zero at the zero I am starting one, two, three. So remember that this will be zero, this will be one, this will be two, and at the same, so at the third element, I mean, so zero, one, two. So at the index three, we should have the item added for the next when we are adding with the new array. So how we can handle those things? We can write copy to. So we can write okay. So I will pass copied at the 0. Why? Because I am adding at the starting of the array, and I can write same again, copied. Remember that I'm copying from this. You can also copy from nums. That is, sorry. Okay, you can also copy from copies. I can write like this or this, whichever you prefer to you. Because both are same. And now what I'm doing? So what I'm doing here, I am just adding the array again. So it will have this array again, this array. Then it should have the both element twice. And remember that the length I have already said that is twice. So for three element I'm setting 6. So it should hold, it should work. So what we will do, we will make the breakpoint and let's see if it is working or not. So what we are seeing that top level statement. Okay, so I just written this thing. This is why it is not compiling. It should compile. Now if you try, you can see application site debug location. Okay, so I did F11. So one of the good thing is this. You can also see this assembly. This thing is not good for very basic thing, but you can get pretty much idea if you are want to know how these things are working. You can step by step see the code. Like you can see that system.array.copy to. So you can also check it out like how these things are working. But this thing is not good for basic thing. Let me again and again. So we are saying that it can hold the six element, and after copying three, this is having three elements, and this is having three element now. Next now see what's happened. Remember that it should have the six element 1 2 3 1 2 3. This means that it is working, and we have written this thing. But the question remain to me like if we can handle the memory or somehow we can remove the impact. What actually I want to do? I want to make it work from actually when I am defining the nums, I am somehow want to don't want to write this code because we are adding the new element. If somehow I can make it to work from the I mean I can just define this withoplus defining this. Let me check if we can do this something. So what I need to do nums in case of C plus plus when I trying the push package failing, so we just use vector dot insert. That way we are able to just add make it so that is good in C sharp C++. Let me see if I can somehow. Okay, this code will be having those kind of thing. Let me see. Okay, so you can see that we can also there is a method. Let's stop it. So this is saying okay. So what I'm doing trying to do. So it is saying that sorry. So what I'm doing here, I'm using link method that is concat and what it does. Let me show you. So you can see. So you just need to press F12 and you will be able to see the code. This is our source and this is our first and second. And since this is the extension method, what we are having nums and we are concatenating the nums again. Remember that the item that will return it will be a iNumRable, not the array. But we can just call to array. So we can simply write this thing So this is the one way you can also do that thing. So let's see if it is working or not. Remember that why it is not filling, because whenever you concatenating, let me show you the code. It is concatenating and generate giving us back the new. It is not trying to modifying that array. So remember that if you remember resizing and the code is giving you the new array by generating a new array, so it will work. But if you're trying to have the array and the code is trying to modify, putting the item in the array that is not in the lower matching the upper bound, it will fail. Like suppose I can give you the example. Like suppose I have a array of size 3 and that have 1, 2, 3, and now I'm trying to add 4. It will fail because the length of the array is 3 and we are adding the fourth element that is not, that is going outside of the size boundary. It will fail. So this is how it is working. Now our question is again, what will be the memory impact? Because in DSA memory impact is a very thing that we need to care about, because I can write the code, but I write to code that will take the less time. Interestingly, there is a few things that I have seen in my past. I see that if you write a for loop and you are using a link queue method, the link queue method are in most cases are running faster than your on code. And why? Because they are over optimized by the framework. In my case, I have written code in my past and I seen that link queue methods are performing very well compared to my on loop. When suppose there is a method called where, and you write the same thing and you write the loop for loop, you are probably seeing that the link method is performing well than your the normal code. This is one thing. So I can see that I can't confirm that which is better than which one is bad code. Probably there is not much logic written in this code, but I can give you one example where we can check this thing. And let me show you the code. So this is the repository I have in my GitHub, and I will give you the link in the description. I can give you the demo here. What you can do, you can go to Control P and add a notebook. And it is not showing here. What you can do, you can just search .NET Interactive. So if you are thinking about polyglot, so I already have polyglot, so I should be able to add. So this is a thing called create a blank notebook. Let me create it. So if I click enter, it will be telling me the option to choose, and it is saying that I prefer div because IPython is mostly preferred for Python, so I do use mostly use div. So let's create div C sharp. The good part of this thing is you can also use the, so what I need to do, I need to write the different logic and see if so let's first copy this thing and see if it is good. The good part of this thing is I can just call it like this, I believe. And we can do one more thing, like we can also see the output. So what I can do, I can see that it is taking 0.2 seconds. Now what I can do, I can write more code, and in this code I can see like if my code is working good or not. So Let's see if what happened in this case. So you can pretty much understand both of the code of mine. In one, I use concat, that is a part of link queue method, and this in most of the interview if we are seeing, we are not allowed to use this kind of thing. They are will be writing the code, basic code, but this is very basic problem. I am showing you because I need to compare the memory and the those kind of thing. So this will take 0.1, 0.1. Now how you will be seeing the time? So there is a thing called output. In here we can see for load notebook logger. If we run this thing, so remember that whenever you execute, it will be showing you the ninth and 10th. This means that ninth time, the ninth thing time is this executed and this executed. So most probably this is the in the inside the memory. I mean, what happen whenever you execute something and you execute the same thing again, compiler know that this thing is not changed, so they are optimized. They use the optimization and might be giving you the solution from the their caching parts to save the time. So remember this thing that if you are caching something and you are executing others without caching, you might say that the part that is cached already in the system is executing faster than other. So don't get confused with that thing. And I'm not sure how we are able to uh, figure it out how this thing will be executed. But you can pretty much execute it like. You can pretty much get benchmark from this like how you if you are calling this the same thing again in 100,000 times or 10,000 times, you will be seeing the result, and you can pretty get the idea like why this one is slow and than other. The other part you can do is figure it out how this thing are internally doing. This is the one thing because and you can see that it is error or copy. You can go to totally deeply level like what is copy working. So you can see this is copying and with this and if I write F12, you can see that it is calling itself. You can get pretty much idea. Otherwise, what you can do, you whenever you're debugging, you can also figure it out. If you are good with this assembly kind of thing, you can always figure it out like how this thing are working. Like I can show you some. This is called push. This is called move. That we are moving something. Comp comp. I'm not sure how these things are working, but whenever we sing copying, we are moving the items from here to there. This is the way you can do. And one thing you can do is in you can write use unit test. Unit test give you the idea like why one method is how much memory it is taking and how much time it is taking. This that way you can also be able to figure it out like which one is better and faster. Thanks for watching the video. Goodbye.